Well, hey, welcome to Decentrify. My name is Jason Dukes. This is the show where we take about 5-ish minutes and we try to fit in 10 questions. We have zero edits, and our very special guest today is Brian Magierski. He is the founder of Cherubim Labs and Cherub DAO. Brian, thank you so much for being a part of this episode today.
Thanks, Jason. Thanks for having me on the show.
I love it. Let's jump right in. So lots of people have never been to Shanghai. You lived there at one time. With all the ugly that's in the news right now about its lockdown and that kind of thing, describe what's beautiful about that city.
Yeah, it pains me to see what Shanghai is going through right now, but the city has amazing energy. And for me, it was the pace and scale of the modernization. And it was just breathtaking. And there was amazing lifestyle experiences around there. Yet with all the modernization around and how fast it happened, you could just walk down a street, turn a corner, and you can just be in a neighborhood that would rewind you decades. And it was still operating that way. So it was just that those types of surprises were just really special and cool.
I love that. So you've launched and sold a number of internet companies. What's an internet company that you haven't launched and sold that you admire a lot?
I mean, yeah, I've got several. Salesforce.com is just fantastic, but for me, for like a favorite company, Apple and the iPhone, I just find that's a magical device, and it's changed my life. And I used a lot of texting apps, but man, the iPhone, like I couldn't put my finger on one app. But I can tell you that damn iPhone, I can't live without it.
I love it. I love it. No, number 3, what drew your attention to Bitcoin in 2014 and then Ethereum in 2017? Because you were ahead of the game, so to speak, to what most people were. What drew your attention to it?
Yeah, I'm a serial entrepreneur, so I built Web 1, Web 2, and mobile companies. So new platforms drew my attention to things, and blockchain and Bitcoin made me kind of take a look at it. But I couldn't figure out what to build on it in 2014. So I bought some, and I didn't buy enough, clearly, but nobody did. But when I discovered Ethereum in 2017, that became the programmable blockchain. And for me, that looked like this could be the next platform. And yes, we call it Web3 now. So it is the next platform.
Very cool. So you got the bug to build in crypto, like you just said. And you moved to Switzerland, I think in 2019, right, to do it?
Yes.
And so describe what emerged, like what was the first major product or first thing that kind of emerged from that venture?
Well, the first product that emerged from coming over, I'm focused on health, and so I love blockchain, and so I tried multiple times with doing like a health coin. I'm like, oh, let's do a health coin. I'm going to change the healthcare industry, and we're going to have the health economy of the health coin. And I just couldn't figure out how to make that work, and I was way too early. And so I pivoted into when the DeFi revolution came along in 2020. I'm like, there is something here around crypto and impact, and how we can bring capital using crypto to have impact in health and wellness and certain disease areas. And that's what led me to Cherubim Labs and doing what I'm doing now.
I dig it. So speaking of that, elevator pitch on Cherubim Labs and Cherub's DAO.
Yeah, well, I believe these well-designed crypto economic mechanisms are amazing innovations for, in particular, aggregating people and capital, talent and capital at a global scale. And so Cherubim Labs, I envision as a crypto development company that really is going to develop these crypto mechanisms to advance brain wellness and longevity. And so Cherub's DAO itself is our first project. And so what Cherub's DAO is, it's a collective that seeks to become the world's largest fund focused on accelerating solutions and cures to Alzheimer's disease and advancing brain wellness broadly. And so we're going to end up doing this through a daily sale of NFTs which fund a treasury, which then make impact investments and research grants. And your NFT gives you a vote over that treasury and making those investments and grants. And it's perpetually funded, regenerative, and we hope that this is going to create billions, tens of billions of dollars of value and really fulfill its mission of accelerating cures to these diseases and advancing brain wellness.
I love that. I love that. So brain wellness is a $5 trillion global industry. You've said to me as we've talked about this, and you kind of have explained it, but just expound even a little bit more on why blockchain and DeFi offer the greatest opportunity for engagement with this industry.
Yeah, well, brain wellness isn't, so it's a $5 trillion global societal cost. When you look at mental illness and traumatic brain injury and dementia. And it's a global challenge and global need. It's a mass market opportunity that will touch every single one of us if it hasn't already. Mm-hmm. And I think Web3's stunning ability to pull talent and capital together to pursue on a global scale, to pursue common missions, I think is one aspect of this. And I do think it has a disruptive, Web3 itself has a disruptive opportunity to create new global supranational institutions. And I say that because public health, has been at the forefront of the last 2.5, 3 years with the pandemic. And we see 20th century institutions trying to solve 21st century problems and they're failing. So I think with crypto and blockchains, you've got not only the talent and capital formation, but you got the ability to create new, more egalitarian and global or institutions to tackle global challenges like public health.
That's good. That's good. You've said that the brain is the final frontier of human health. Why is this so personally important to you?
Well, I've got my youngest. I have three daughters, and my youngest is 10, and she has a condition called Down syndrome. Down syndrome is a triplication of the 21st chromosome. It just so happens that one of the Alzheimer's marker genes, APP, which is the most predominant one, is on the 21st chromosome, and hence it's overexpressed. And so what that means for people with Down syndrome is they experience accelerated aging and an early onset of Alzheimer's. So while it's great news, like people with Down syndrome have extended their lifespans, their healthy lifespans, their ability to be productive in society, contribute to society, and living fantastic longer lives. But this accelerated aging and early onset of Alzheimer's is hitting them, and it's hitting them too early in life, still in their 40s and 50s and 60s. And so my ambition is to give my daughter and people like her protection against the onset of dementia and Alzheimer's disease. And I think it will benefit the globe and humanity if we do.
For real. That's awesome. Yeah, I think, like you said, most all of us have been touched by some aspect of brain wellness and even Alzheimer's in that sense. What needs to change about Alzheimer's research as we know it today?
More funding, more risk-taking in research projects, more decentralization of funding sources, democratization of it. Centralized funding, it's led to groupthink and a lack of progress in the disease. And I'd like to see a lot more funding dedicated toward diagnostics and ability to diagnose earlier and take earlier interventions, and toward therapeutics that can serve as a protective barrier against the onset of Alzheimer's. And there's real research that's emerging in this area where we could see therapeutics come along that can serve almost like a statin or a Lipitor, but for brain health and protection against dementia. And it's really this accumulation of amyloid. For 20, 30 years, centralized funding sources really, we're trying to reverse it when it was way too late, as opposed to try to detect it and diagnose it early and then provide a prophylactic effect against it, which is, I think, where we are now and why it's so exciting. If we could democratize the approach, we can generate more funding and we can direct it toward more of these innovative approaches to trying to give us all protection against this disease from even happening.
That's awesome. Yeah, a friend of mine introduced me to someone with the Chalmers Center one time, and the way they phrase it is to get upstream versus being downstream. And it's big.
Absolutely.
So when will the NFTs for Cherubs DAO come out, and what will be the best way for somebody to grab one?
Yeah, hopefully very soon. We're in pre-launch planning right now, so the software is ready. Anybody can go to cherubsdao.com and test it out. The testnet's running, and you can play around. You can play around with the Arc too in the playground. We're building out our scientific advisory team right now. We have some exciting announcements we hope to be able to bring out soon, and we're recruiting the community right now through podcasts, Twitter, networking, and across the crypto, NFT, and DeSci or decentralized science communities. Our ambition is to do our first Cherub auction at the Cherubs DAO site in the month of June. But we're gonna get it out when we feel the community is ready for it. Best way to grab it is to join our Discord, follow us on Twitter, be part of the community, and be around for the launch announcement.
I love it. I love it. And for our listeners, and if you have any hint of passion about this subject, please share this episode with folks, because I think it really matters. So last question, who else would you suggest that we invite onto Decentrify?
You haven't had Satoshi yet, have you? No, seriously.
I'll tell you what, if you can connect us, please do.
I'd aim for one of the Nouns DAO founders, honestly.
Awesome.
They call themselves Nounders. There are 8 of them. They're all anon. But I think their mechanism is one of the more underappreciated innovations in the space, and we're doing a fork of it, and I'd love to hear from them.
That would be awesome. Yeah, if you have a connection, please connect us. If not, I'll reach out myself. But yeah, I love that. Well, Brian, it's been a joy to connect with you on this. And again, this topic, it touches all of us in various ways, whether it's been a family member, an extended family member, someone close. And I'm thankful that you're taking the experience and the wisdom you've had over the years in multiple ventures and really lasering in on this, and I'm hoping for incredible success for you, and I look forward to being along to see how it goes and support you and encourage in it as well.
Awesome. Thanks, Jason. Yes, our ambition is a global community where everybody can play a role in tackling this monstrous challenge that we're all going to face.
It's good stuff, man. Well, we'll talk soon.
Thanks.